You know what? Out of all the intros, I like this one the best, you know. Guten Abend, bonsoir, buonasera, hola. Welcome, people. It's your favorite European show. After the one that comes on, we were just talking about it, weren't we, brothers? After the one that comes on BT Sport, what's it called?
Goal Show.
Goal Show.
Yeah.
We're a little bit behind them, but we're catching up.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Out to Julien Laurent, you know, my man. We're coming for you, bro. We're coming for you, monsieur. We're coming from you, monsieur. I'm learning the French. I'm learning all of the European languages. I don't know if these guys have learned anything, but I've been reading the textbooks again and again.
I'm ready for. I'm practicing mine for the knockout round. So when I come proper.
Okay. Well, you got until February to learn, bro.
Exactly.
People, you're all very welcome to the Eurostars. It's been a while. Seems like it's been a while. Last week, Liverpool played, and then we couldn't fit in because these guys are hella busy. Bilal decided to go on a little trip abroad. Inter Milan has been stressing out. Mo, if you've been watching his watch-alongs, my God, this guy is straining. You can see the veins popping out of his head when it's Lautaro Martinez scores for him. You can see his veins popping. Hope you're doing very well, Mo. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy. The group stage is over. Big boys going through, and small teams.
And some big boys, and some big boys not going through.
Well, I'm not gonna call them small. I'm not gonna call them big boys anymore. I'm just not gonna call them big boys anymore until they come back and play in the Champions League, round of 16. They're not big boys. They were dropped to the let's call it the second class.
Yeah, don't say that. The two other guys are gonna start, getting emotional. You know what I mean? Ty, what's going on, bro? How you feeling? How you doing? Of course, compared to the start of the season, I know you're vibrant. I know you're up.
Yeah, my energy.
You're flying.
Yeah, we're flying, man. You know, we'll say that for another show. Obviously, we're not in this competition right now, but nah, man, it's good to be on. Like you said, it's been a while, man. But I love talking football with you guys. Obviously, Mo, Bilal, Grizz, everyone like the video. Make sure you subscribe. And yeah, man, I'm ready for the knockouts. I think this last round of games has just sort of like shaped everything up a little bit more now. So it's going to be good to discuss, man.
So much to discuss, man. People are throwing all sorts of talking points, man. I can't keep up, man. Big up Grizz on the panel. Benfica, no PSG for Liverpool in this round. Avoid Real Madrid. I don't care who we get. God's got a plan for us, Reds. That's the Liverpool chat out of the way. And then Mike says, yo, I need some Benfica prop. Way, Benfica, man. You know what, Bilal, you were saying that's a serious machine developing there, man, because how they ended up into the Champions League in terms of via the winners was amazing. They had to outscore PSG in away goals. Now, and they were behind, like in terms of the gap was about 5-6 or something. And then they managed to win 6-1, right?
Yeah, 6-1 in the end against Maccabi Haifa, and they were pressing. And João Mario this season, don't know what he's been eating. It's like he scored in every Champions League game for Benfica. You can see what they've been doing this season.
Bilal, sorry to interrupt you. You know I never like to interrupt you. You know what it is. It's the power of this. Me and Grizz have something in common. We have this, but we also have this. It's the bald players. With age, we age like fine wine, and João Mario is showing that. So I'm proud to be bald.
I can't believe the João Mario. He's come back. What a story! I thought he's done out here.
He was an Inter. Mo even had him in Inter, and he was not playing. So, no. But yeah, sorry, Bilal. I have to carry on. I just had to say the baldness. We age like fine wine, and João Mario has proven it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Listen, bold power. It's there. Listen, when you come across some bold man, you don't want to fight them. Bold people got power, bro. I understand. But yeah, João Mario, as I said, he was balling. Gonzalo Ramos as well. You know, all of their players in the Grimaldos,
how do you say his name?
Yeah, Gonzalo Ramos.
Yeah, Gonzalo.
Not Gonzalo. Goncalo Ramos. We're the Eurostar show. We need to get on point with our accents. You know why, innit, Bilal? You should know more than anyone else. Because not only is this a YouTube show now, this is going out as an audio podcast as well. So when people hear us, they want to hear the proper pronunciations. So I'm setting you homework, young bro. I'm setting you homework right now. We need to get the accents. So I believe, unless someone corrects us, it's Goncalo Ramos. Not Gonzalo Ramos.
Is it a tha? Is it a tha? Gonzalo? I don't know. with the tongue. I'm not too sure. But we just call him Ramos for now. If we're not sure, we call him GI. You know? But it's mad. Like even the Rafa Silvas, the Grimaldos, these guys have been at Benfica for years. They've been talked about for years. Especially like Grimaldo getting moves linked for 5. It's like Milinkovic Savic at Lazio. You know, these guys just been linked to clubs. Like, all
Grimaldo is good, Bilal, but he's a FIFA merchant. I think he's okay, bro. He's just a good player. He's just another Alex. He's good. He's not superb like the other guys, like the Enzos. He is not superb. People just need to understand sometimes. Yes, he plays in a good team. Benfica, I think, as of now, they're the only team in the big 5 leagues that haven't lost a game at all this season.
I'll double check that, but I believe so. Yeah.
In their league, they've won 10 and drawn 1.
Exactly, and in the Champions League, they haven't lost a game. So I think maybe PSG lost a game. I'm assuming in League One. So you know what?
I think PSG are unbeaten as well. Because I think there was a story saying Liverpool have broken Napoli's unbeaten record, Man City's unbeaten record, and next is bring on the next team in the Champions League to come to Anfield. You understand?
Yeah, PSG unbeaten as well.
It's Benfica.
Is it Benfica?
No, you are right, Grizz. No, PSG and Benfica, yeah.
But look,
so it might be Benfica for you, Grizz. It might be Benfica for you.
And if you analyze and if you go through it, I was going to get the who scored one up. Let me get this one up because it's got the subs as well. Give me 1 second. So if you look through this team, guys, hopefully you can see that. Can we see that?
Yeah. Looks good.
Yeah, I just want to get the subs in as well because couple of very important subs in there. This team, he's done wonders. They sold Darwin Núñez, their main man. The way these Portuguese they like circulate the funds again and start going again, and you still got brothers like Otamendi. Now, I mean, who wants to go on Otamendi first? Because honestly, he's one of the most. I don't think
the shit version.
He was not good for Man City.
He's like a poor Ricardo Carvalho, dirty, gets the tackles, but has that mentality. But do you know what I mean?
But what?
Yeah, but what is it? Yeah, because he's been at top clubs. There's a reason, Grizz, that some top clubs. He was at Valencia when I'm not going to say that they were the best, but he was still at a Valencia team we all knew growing up. He's then gone to Man City. He has won trophies at Man City, and he's at Benfica now. Slower league. He's going to the World Cup, his last World Cup. So for me, I tell you what it is with Otamendi. I don't like him as a player. And
this is a shout. Otamendi is a shit version of your boy.
Yeah, he's just got that nastiness about him. But when you're at a team like Benfica, Grizz, and you have got a World Cup spot to play for with Martinez and Romero, you have a motivation, and that's key for players like that at the end of their career. And that's what he's doing. And you know what it is as well. For me, I was going to talk about the other defender because you got an 18-year-old Antonio Silva in there, who, by the way, is a very good player. Like
Michael mentioned him last week
100 times, but if you watch someone, you can tell within 10 minutes their quality. He's learning off someone like Otamendi. Now, you might not want to play like Otamendi, but get in that sort of you know how people say Man City and Pep, they make them clever fouls and stuff like that. You learn parts of the game from players like Otamendi. I think Antonio Silva is going to be one of them players in the next 3-4 years who is going to get that big move. So they complement each other, experience with youth, and they're winning games. So
Mike reminds us them and PSG the only unbeaten team. Okay, fair enough.
What they're doing is mad. If you look actually deeper, like guys like Neres, for some reason, when he was at Ajax, decided to go to Ukraine when clearly Ukraine was going in a bad way, but that's a different discussion. Ends up at Benfica now. And now his quality is showing again. But you look at as I said, the Rafa Silva's been there for a while. João Mario, we thought he was finished, and he's still, delivering. It's not their unbeaten record is impressive. It's not like a PSG where ridiculous. You expect them to win most games.
This guy João Mario played for Inter for years. Inter tried to get rid of him for years. He is one of the worst players I've seen in my life.
Wow!
At Inter, he was one of the worst players I've seen in my life, and I have had some banter era players. But this guy, hands down, the worst player we have ever signed. He goes down as the worst signing that Inter made in recent history, when I'm talking about 30 years. But he goes to Benfica, and somehow he's balling. Somehow
is he playing in this position, guys?
Exactly. Look at Uncle Sharma's comment is exactly that. João Mario is our biggest flop. We paid 45 million for this guy, and he was atrocious. And I'm telling you, ridiculously bad. Like,
so Mo, where did he play? Where did he play? So he was bought, from what I remember of João Mario.
Sporting Lisbon.
Yeah, from what I remember, he was used in midfield, right? As a double pivot, as a DM, not very good on the ball, not very good going forward and everything. Just a figure, just a physical 6 foot something, you know. What happened? So why is he really playing in this formation? Has anyone seen? Can someone give us some insight into João Mario's new role in Benfica?
I have watched him a couple of times, Grizz. He is the free player next behind Rafa Silva, basically.
Wow.
It's exactly what it is. He is the free player. Everybody behind him is making the work. He's just a free player. And that's why he looks like he doesn't have any like duties defensively or anything. He's just a free player out there doing his job, and he's playing, which is what he did for Portugal when they won the Euros. This is his stock went up for that. He was just a free player behind, I think it was Cristiano at that time, and he was just free player. So for me, I don't think João Mario is a good player. However, that proves that some players in certain environments can flourish.
Systems.
And can play really, exactly.
But even when you see his goal today, it sums up his best qualities. Like, he's coming in, he's in the middle, and he's always had this power ball nicely to hit a ball cleanly. And today with the last goal for Benfica, it's an absolute banger of a goal. If you guys haven't seen it in the chat, go watch that back, because that's a special goal to get your team first place, you know, in the group. So sometimes you just give a player like that freedom. You tell them use your work rate, because he's got great work rate. That was the one thing he always had, you know, running around and getting himself about. And then you give him the freedom on top of that and let him be free, take shots, you know, express himself. He's not playing in the star-studded team. He can really show maybe his quality. Maybe he doesn't feel the pressure playing for Inter. You know, the pressure going to Inter for the money, you know, the transfer fee, the wages, the attention. Sometimes it can kill a player. We saw even, I know Renato Sanchez was a young player, but even after the Euros, he went to what? Bayern, Swansea. Like, it took him a while, you know, to really recover.
And it does kind of help Bilal as well when you put old legs with youth and you combine his experience, like Mario, like Mo said and Grizz said, that free role. That's how I kind of remember that box to box sort of midfielder being a bit everywhere. You could just have license. But you've got David Neres, who, yes, he went to Ukraine, didn't quite work out. He's come to Benfica now. You've got Rafa Silva, who's still very nippy experience, and you've got a young, hungry striker that obviously Gonçalo Ramos, which is kind of starting to make rumbles across Europe. So you've got kind of a vibrant, energetic front three, which then more frees up space for him because other teams are focused on them rather than, like Grizz said, looking at someone like João Mario, where you're thinking, I'm not going to really mark him. Is he the threat? But players like that, I'm not saying he's like Thomas Müller, by the way, but you look at players like Thomas Müller, fantastic for years, right? But is he exceptional at anything? No, he's just right place, right time, all the time. And sometimes having players like that around you frees up space. And I think
game intelligence. Sometimes game intelligence.
I think he is the most intelligent player I've seen in my lifetime. Thomas Müller.
Yeah.
In my life, I have never seen someone that intelligent in football. It's astonishing that he doesn't excel in anything. However, every single coach from 2009, since the guy was 20 years old, starts him. Doesn't even put him on the bench. And it didn't matter. It was Pep. It was Hykins. It was Ancelotti. They come in. This guy starts. It doesn't matter who.
It's amazing. This Benfica team is causing quite a stir. And not only Benfica, Porto. We must talk about how, as I said, Porto and Benfica sell their star assets again and again and again. Yet they're still able to reach the last stages. Of course, their limitations, they're limited to sort of knockout stages, maybe a quarterfinal here and there. Again, Porto have won their group as well, lads. Before we go on to Porto, I'm so sorry, Bilal. Before we get on to Porto, I want to show the lads the main guy at Benfica. Wow, guys, it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. Shout out to F33 guys. They said it. Remember the name, Enzo Fernandez, Argentinian playmaker, DM, call him what you want, pitbull, all the descriptions of an absolute quality central midfielder. Someone want to speak on him before I wax lyrical? I mean, you guys can speak on him. I give you first dibs?
Who wants
Nobody?
to go? Listen, from what I've seen on Enzo Fernandez, I've only seen good things. Even when he was at River Plate, you're seeing all the clips, you're seeing everything that he's doing. Him, Julian Alvarez were two big stars coming out of, Argentina. And now he's gone to Benfica. It's just a stopgap move. We keep saying, the Benficas of the world and Porto, they always have that ability to go to that South American market first, obviously because of the language, the climate, everything. Get them first and then end up making big money. In this summer, next summer, I think a lot of clubs are looking for midfielders. He's going to be right up there, especially when even today I'm seeing Jude Bellingham, they're saying 150 million. He's not going to cost 150 million. Maybe it costs 80 million. I don't know. But he's going to be good value, good age, good everything. And he's a complete kind of midfielder. So, yeah, what more do you want really at that price?
Honestly, this guy has it. This guy has it all, man. Sorry, I knew we were going to move on to Porto Group B. So look, that's an amazing, amazing achievement from Benfica to top that group. One thing we didn't discuss about that group is the team that finishes third. So we know PSG, right? They went to Real Madrid. They went to Juventus today. Juventus had to win, didn't they? Or
no, Juventus had to match the result.
They had to match the result. PSG, so therefore, I think, look, this is what I meant about PSG, Mo. Me and you were talking about PSG at the start of the season. And these are the kind of F-ups that will cost PSG, in my humble opinion. This is why they won't reach top. Because how they didn't finish top of this group, again, is a mystery, Mo.
Yeah, listen, me and you, I think last time at Eurostars, we said that PSG, they're most likely to finish second because I thought they're going to draw against Juventus. And today, in the game, they weren't the best team on the pitch. I was watching the game as one of the games I was watching today, and they weren't the best against a very, very weak Juventus, to be honest. They're very weak, this Juventus team. But they were just playing with more heart, as PSG are guaranteed top spot. And I don't know if that's a lack of communication, but it looks like PSG, they're going to have to take the harder road, maybe play City, Napoli, Real Madrid or something. And are they sure they're going to go through if they play?
I wonder what their options are. Can someone let us know what the PSG options now suddenly become? Because it's very, very interesting. I know we only look at the English clubs usually, but it's interesting. Tyrone, these kind of things, man, you've got to be careful because suddenly your options have become... Suddenly you're smiling and then you're all right. You're going through as winners and you're going to get the second place team.
And then you're hoping for a Club Brugge now at best. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying no disrespect to Club Brugge. Obviously, most teams beat them, but you don't want to be going into a draw hoping. I think that's the difference. And PSG are now hoping that they avoid, like you said, the Real Madrid or Napoli's. And I just think PSG are a funny team because they always walk their league most forefront.
Here we go. But these are their options now, bro. Suddenly, Chelsea,
they can't. They should be able to play Bruges, right?
No, Bruges is a second. Porto came first.
Bruges is second.
Porto. Okay, so Porto top the group. So, it's just...
Bayern. You can place Bayern as well, people.
Bayern as well. And there's no guarantee for me, right? How I look at it, I like this PSG team. I said that at the start of our first Eurostars, them and Man City on paper are the team. I feel like this is the best equipped PSG have been to win a Champions League. However, if they have to play a Madrid or a City or a Bayern, am I sitting here confident that they do that? No, because that's the type of team I was looking at them playing in a semi or a final. They might have to play one of their potential finalists now in the next round. So it's going to be a big wake up call. And I think the dangerous thing for PSG is that we see it every year. When you're playing in the French league and the competition's not as good, when you then step up and play these teams in the Champions League, like playing, the Liverpools and the Arsenals week by week and stuff like that, they're ready. They know what it takes to win these games. PSG, they're going to have to click into action real quick, and it's going to be a test for them. And they're going to be disappointed, if I'm honest, not to have won this group tonight. Nuno Mendes, come on, who you like. He scored a great goal, by the way. I was watching the second half.
Bad boy player.
He's a really good player.
I want to throw something out there for you, Ty. Do you think Messi is going to be into the game after the World Cup as much as
that's what I was literally thinking. Thinking that. Oh my god!
Do you know what? I think the big thing for that, my simple answer is this: it depends if he wins it or not. If he wins the World Cup, in his head, he's completed the world. That's what I think personally. And I'm not saying he's setting off to Inter Miami and doing whatever he's doing, and that's going to change his mind and everything. But if they fail in the World Cup, he will want to redeem himself. So I think that could go two ways. For PSG, it could actually work a negative if they win the World Cup. But, for PSG and Neymar and Mbappe, this is the best equipped they've been. If they don't win it this year, I don't see them again strengthening enough to win it next year, because Liverpool, Cities, the Man United, potentially they get in it. I know we're not in it now, but we're all looking to strengthen. We're all looking to enhance. Real Madrid will want someone else because Cruz might be leaving. So PSG have, I think they've really messed up here, and they're going into this Monday draw dangerous. However, we've got to flip it around and use psychology here. Who wants to face PSG at the same time? You don't really want to get PSG that early.
I'm not. For me, I'll let Bilal and Mo say. For me, the top teams, a la your Man Cities, your Real Madrid, would love to pick them off. You know, Ty. I'm telling you, I know you've spoken highly from them from the start, but I'm telling you, man, they're not the complete team. They're far from the complete.
Okay,
team,
so Grizz, if I have to play devil's advocate, we looked at their 3-4-2-1 formation. We said this is the manager's getting the best out of the players they've got. We looked at their signings in terms of the squad depth, the Renatos he's mentioned, the Fabian Ruizes, they've got the Vitinhas and stuff. Where did they fall short for you then, Grizz, when you look at that team?
Exactly in transition. I was watching Juve, who are, Mo will tell you more than me, or maybe, I don't know, you guys might know more about Juve. Juve are one of the most lethargic, slow, transitional teams in Italy right about now.
Yeah,
right?
Horrible.
And they had acres of space walking through that midfield. Now, the amount of work Verratti's playing as a DM for these guys, literally, basically, he's playing the deepest line playmaker. And then they've either got Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, or Sanchez or Vitinha on either side. The amount of horizontal running they're having to do is unbelievable. Teams like Man City and Real Madrid that know exactly how to make this pitch big. And that's the key to beating PSG. Make the pitch wide. Make the pitch wide. And I'm telling you, teams can do this. I mean, this was look at this state of this Juve team, Ty. And I'm not joking.
It's horrible.
I'm not joking. They had acres and acres of space. Verratti's playing the deepest. He's not defensively the best. He's a rash tackler. He's a rash tackler. Hakimi's not getting on with certain players in the squad. Ramos is not the 28-year-old physically dominating Ramos. Ramos relies on positional sense and aura, that word that people use for Virgil van Dijk and Kall. But this is what that guys. I'm not convinced with PSG at all to that level. I don't know if Bilal or Mo want to say anything.
No, listen.
I wouldn't want to play them. I wouldn't want to play them because of the attack, Bilal.
Of course, we know that. Of course,
but everything else in this team does not scream unbeatable. It doesn't.
I agree with that. But then for me, not a lot of other teams also scream unbeatable. This is why I love the Champions League this year.
Yeah, I agree with you in this.
Apart from Bayern,
even City. Even
the Champions League.
Mo, me and you spoke on City a bit lately. Yes, they've been winning and stuff, but even though we're seeing the little cracks, people don't really want to hear that because everyone looks at Haaland. But City are still not looking the full jigsaw yet. They're not clicking yet.
No one is. I've said it. No one is. No one is looking the complete package right now. This is why, with all due respect to Napoli, and it's not because Liverpool put them away. With all due respect to Napoli, they're a fantastic team. But if we're saying Napoli are the best team in Europe right now, it automatically means the big dogs, the Man Cities, the Madrids, and not functioning at full optimum level.
Exactly.
Let's get real. Let's be real. You know, that's the way it is. But which group we're going on to next, Bilal, man? I mean, where can we go? So we know Juventus. Do you want to say something about Juventus? Mo, Europa League. I know you're going to say they deserve it.
Yeah, Can I just say one thing? Do you know what? Just quickly, Mo, sorry. I'm just going to say, I saw in the 75th minute, Chiesa come on. By the way, what a player. I'm so happy he's back. I just wanted to give him an honourable mention. He's worked so hard. And just to give him 15 minutes, that crowd, you could see it was like they scored a goal. Like, just to see him back. He's the pace they look for. He's Yowler. He's the workhorse. I'm just so happy to see him back. So, yeah, I want to say big up Chiesa, man. And I really hope after the World Cup, we can see a good Chiesa for the second half of the season.
Whatever, man. Chiesa's Chiesa.
If you're a Fiorentina fan, man, I was thinking, I saw Chiesa, Vlahovic. If you're a Fiorentina fan, you can't be... What's going on in Fiorentina, man? You can't be giving all these players to Juve, man. What happened
No,
to
but
the
don't be
rival?
like that, Mo. We have to say, from a footballing point of view, I know rivalry into whatever, but Ty's right.
No, he absolutely. Like, I was happy to see him today because you know what? He was talking about Italy, that he actually is behind in his recovery. He was behind in his recovery, and he was so disappointed. He was supposed to come earlier than this. So for me, like, listen, I'm happy that he's back playing football, but I hope that he doesn't play his best in the next game, especially this Sunday against Inter. I hope he doesn't play. But
it's too early to start, right? He's too early to start.
Yeah.
Well, do they have options? Did you look at that lineup for Juventus? Which was like, they were lucky to go to the Europa League, to be honest.
Oh man, Juventus! What a sad story, really. No one really feels sorry for them, to be honest with you. Horrible club. You know, get out of here, man. Do you know what I mean? Champions League. Go and join Man United and Arsenal and them, man. I'm joking.
Listen, if you want to talk about Europa, we'll talk about Juve, then I think it's time we just move on. Let's get it done. Let's talk about Group C, because this was the group of death, and this was the group that we were all looking forward to watching. And yeah, I had the pleasure of watching Barcelona get absolutely dismantled by Bayern Munich. So for me, watching that, and I'm seeing Marcus Alonso at the back, Bellerin, I was thinking, have I traveled to the wrong country? Like, what am I watching?
It's 2012 all over again.
Yeah, what's going on? Honestly, the world.
I've traveled half the world, and what am I seeing, man? This is crazy.
I got Alonso and
Bellerin out here.
I couldn't believe what my eyes were seeing, man. Like, Barcelona, the funniest team. Like, they didn't even have a shot. They didn't have a proper shot on goal. Like, they could pass. Dembele would try dribble past like 5 guys against Bayern, and then his final pass. Oh my God, you don't even want to speak about what he's doing at the end of his, long. But maybe he's tired because he's having to carry the team. But at the end of the day, Bayern and Inter got through this group. And Bayern, listen, I know they've not started that well in the Bundesliga, but look at this record in the Champions League. Bayern are always dangerous. And I remember we were talking about it earlier in the season. I said, listen, doesn't matter what Bayern manager, what problems they... Listen, Bayern minimum semi-final is Bayern Munich. This is from Bayern, for me, probably the scariest team in Europe in terms of mentality. I know Real Madrid mentality is like, comebacks and they'll never give up and the great moments and the great players. But Bayern have this thing, right? Like, they will twist the knife in, out. They'll do everything, to just make you feel pain.
Like, they haven't lost at home at Bela. They haven't lost at home since 2008. In the like, it's unbelievable. What is?
They've got the longest record, I think, in group stages.
No.
You're thinking about Mane chipping the keeper,
brother.
You beat them at home.
Yeah, with Heritage.
No, you mean group stages?
Group stages. Bayern have the best group stage record. They got the record this season.
To be fair, though, I actually looked at Bayern's record, and it's funny. I was listening to the radio on the way to work this morning, and that's the first time in ever that Bayern Munich have won every group stage game for 3 years in a row. No team's ever done that. So they've won 18 from their last 18 group stage matches. No draws, no defeats. But we said it on the first Eurostars. Is the defense good enough when it gets to the semis, when it gets to the quarters?
I'm with
Am I shocked? Look, this is me being honest. Am I shocked they won 6 from 6 in that group against a Barcelona team that has a defense like that, against an Inter team that you kind of have the unknown factor? Can they do it in Europe? So for me, I'm not shocked. For me, it's about seeing Bayern Munich get to the quarters and semis, because that's where I expect them to be. Then we will see. That's why for me, yes, well done to them. They've done their job, 18 goals, 2 conceded, but we will know. We'll see what Bayern do in quarters and semis, because that's where we watch them.
Do you want me to tell you honestly how I feel? Because I watch my team, of course, playing Bayern. They're not as strong.
You were worried about their defense at the start of the show, so maybe
they're not as strong as you think. Yesterday, we interplayed 7 players that are not starters. Yesterday, seven of these players don't start games, and it was okay. We were ripping through their defense easy. We just didn't take our chances. We had 2 clear-cut chances in front of the goal. Lautaro Martinez missed one on the line, and it was just too easy for us. And I keep saying that their heritage carry them sometimes. Some of these names won't get in top teams. Sabitzer wouldn't get in top teams. Upamecano wouldn't get in top teams. Pavard wouldn't. Coleman, and these are starters for them. They wouldn't get in top teams. Goretzka is a great player and all. Is he gonna get in top 3-4? Is he gonna get in a Real Madrid team? I don't know. But again, it's the German machine. It's the way they play. It's the comprehensive football. This is what carries them. Mane has not looked great. Not yesterday, not before, not in the league. He's not looking great, in my opinion. And I don't know. If you look at this Bayern Munich, other than Kimmich, probably, of course, Manuel Neuer when he comes back, Serge Gnabry, some of them are okay. They're good. They're top players, of course, but they're not the likes of Haaland. They're not the they're not the likes of Salah at his best. That's what I mean. Benzema.
First and foremost, I need to humble myself because people are reminding me, right? People saying Grizz literally said they will go out to Europa League. I'm not sure if I said that. But what I did say is I don't rate them like Bilal's rating them. Now, I think Bilal's gone way overboard in his praise. Like, that's Bilal for you. Like, you know what I mean? He plays FIFA a lot. He said the same thing about, who did he say the same thing about? Barcelona. Now he switched to Bayern Munich. Man just flip-flops week to week. You know what I mean? Every player he sees a little bit of highlight, he says, yeah. I don't know, Ty. I'm with Mo. I think we know Musiala. We spoke about him. How many times have we spoke about him?
He's a youngster, right?
Musiala is an absolute joy.
But he's still young. He's still young. Even against Barca, wasn't great at all. Like we couldn't even get in the game. Like Choupo-Moting was doing.
Now, if you look at that back line, like we're all discussing, and we know to win the big trophies, you cannot do it with a weak defense.
No.
Real Madrid, everyone talks about Real Madrid last season in the Champions League. They had the most craziest defense, man. Did you see the shift they put in against Liverpool, just say in the final?
Yep.
You know what I mean? The shift they had to put in against Man City.
What they've done is not a shock, and they will get their real test. And I think we'll see the true Bayern Munich, unfortunately, Bilal. I'm not going to say they're going to get ripped apart like 4 or 5-0, but I do believe that they will fall short when it gets to the crunch period of that 70th minute to the 90th minute of a two-legged tie. Have they got it? I don't think so.
Who? But again, they come into that category of 3 or 4 teams we don't know. We don't know about. And I'm going to throw Liverpool in that hat as well. We know Liverpool won't stay like they're playing now. Come February, we're going to be a different animal. We don't know what the state of Bayern's going to be. We don't know the state of all the top teams. Madrid, Benzema struggling with an injury, recent times. We don't know. He's getting to that age. A lot of these players have played a lot of football. Who's the main star that got injured today, man? I was hearing.
Not Heung-min Son for Spurs.
Yeah, that as well. But
Chouameni.
Muscle fatigue. But these guys have played a lot of football, man. For their
Chilwell today for Chelsea as well.
World Cup's wild, but looking at that team, Upamecano and Pavard don't scare me in centre back. No. Even if they bring De Ligt, they don't scare me. Do you know what I mean? Materazzi at right back doesn't scare me. He doesn't worry me. He doesn't look unbeatable. I'm telling you, a lot of strikers will look at that forward line. Will look at that. Yes, up front when they get Muller back, Leroy Sané when he's firing, Kingsley Coman. Musiala, I get
the options. You see? Now the options. Now you're saying the name.
Yeah, but
Alfonso Davis. The overlap with Mane.
That's great. That's great, Bilal. But the thing is, again, as PSG, I'm sorry, Grizz, as PSG, is that defense gonna win you the tournament? Your offense might be the best in the world. They might run teams and they might destroy teams, but it takes one cross from someone in Real Madrid to just break that line. Which is what
loves overthink.
Okay, but what team has a great defense right now?
Now Real Madrid have a really good defense now. Have a really good defense at the moment. I think City now, if they have their players fit, I think they have a good defense at the moment. They have really good.
When we get back, listen, we're the butt of jokes right now.
Yeah, on Liverpool paper, no.
Liverpool is the butt of jokes.
It's been good.
But I'm telling you, we've got a serious defense. We're back to defending well. Four clean sheets out of 6.
There's not many teams that the World Cup will suit. And I actually said at work today, Liverpool will love this. This break is going to do them a world of good. But we'll go through the other groups anyway. So
we're going to go through them. I don't know who's next, but yeah, man. Look, Inter. You want to speak on Inter? Who's your?
It's simple. Listen, if we get all our players back and we start in February, we might be a different team completely. If Lukaku's back and we have Brozovic back and Skriniar now is back to his best, he's about to sign a new contract. Bastoni now is out of this world. If you watch Barella, you would think this is a top 5 midfielders in the world at the moment. Like if you see his
playing amazing.
It's unbelievable. So if we get these players to play, again, we can. would you want to face Inter as a second team?
No.
Yeah, you're not the
I
type
don't-
of team that I think
wouldn't.
teams want. Yeah, I agree.
You wouldn't want to face Inter at this stage, like, you know what I mean? So, are we gonna get a player in the winter? I don't think so. But are we gonna, like, the thing about it, like, you know, when you extend contracts for some players, they play with ease, and the World Cup is gonna come, and some of the players will take a break. Like,
what's your World Cup like? What's your World Cup like?
Nothing. Bastoni, Barella are not going. Hakan is not going. The only one that is gonna run to the ground is Brozovic, because he's the only one that doesn't sub out in the Croatian team. Lukaku is gonna go, of course. Lautaro is the starting forward, but that's it. De Vrij is gonna play, probably start next to Van Dijk. This is how.
Onana as well.
Onana is gonna start for Cameroon, but that's good as a goalkeeper to start every game in the World Cup. That's gonna be great.
Does Dumfries play for? Does Dumfries not play for the
Dumfries plays every game, of course. So yes,
but we
don't have a lot of players because Italy didn't go.
Can we get the options for Inter Milan in terms of who's your options in the next round? Because that's interesting. And you're right. You're spot on. Inter Milan, for me, are without doubt one of the best second place teams, man. You're right. Like we were speaking about PSG. You don't want to be facing them in the knockout stages. You don't want to be facing.
It's not that bad for Inter, you know, when I look at it. Because, for example, they will go Benfica, Man City, Real Madrid, Chelsea,
Spurs,
Tottenham, not Bayern, Porto, and that's it.
But that's it.
Yeah,
and for me, the only team I would want to avoid, to be honest, and there's no disrespect to anybody, is Man City. Even Real Madrid. Last year, we lost against Real Madrid because they had more experience. Now, these players that we have now, they have more experience. We actually dominated the play, created chances, but the players didn't have experience because you remember some of these players never played Champions League before. And now we have experience. And Real Madrid are great and everything, but I don't know who's going to... But I know one thing. I know if I play Man City, I'll be under the hammer for freaking 180 minutes. That's what I know for a fact.
I think you avoid Man City, Real Madrid. All the other games are very winnable.
I agree with that,
like
Chelsea, every other team is winnable, right? Even Real Madrid.
It's winnable. It's winnable, but it goes back to our original argument. It's so funny, but you couldn't call it. I couldn't. Inter Milan versus Chelsea, I couldn't call it. Inter Milan versus any of those other teams, I couldn't call it. Benfica, by name, by stature, we might say, okay, Benfica you'd like to face, but really, would you like to face Benfica right now in the mode they're in?
No.
That's what I mean. This exactly. This year's Champions League, I don't think there's any clear favorites, man. It's proper. Listen, guys, before we continue going through the groups, there's over 250 of you guys in here. Smash a like for the people, them. You know what I mean? Make sure you go out and check out these channels. Will never a foul. It's staring at you in the face. Make sure you go and check out.
And I'm on with you. And I'm on with you on Friday, Grizz, as well for the big preview for Tottenham Liverpool.
That's right. Oh my God.
Yeah, Grizz will be there, man.
Tottenham Liverpool this week. Yeah.
Say again.
Tottenham Liverpool.
There's some big fixtures this weekend, but we're gonna get to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Talking of Liverpool, I guess the next group is Liverpool's group. Bilal, we want to hit it. We had an uphill task in terms of have to beat them 4-0. We didn't manage to beat them 4-0. But guys, I'm telling you, as a Liverpool fan, and I won't linger too much on Liverpool. We'll speak about the other two teams or wherever. But if you told me after that Napoli demolition, we're going to win every single game after that and finish second on 15, because not many teams finish second on 15, I would have told you guys are mad. But that's what we do, man. Champions League sometimes somehow brings the best out in us. Yesterday, nobody can tell me Napoli were not on it. Napoli were on it. The atmosphere, the fans, the players, the coach on the sideline, the selection. Mo, I think we done the preview, and you said even their reserves are fire. Even their reserve players. They pick Lozano, they pick Osimhen, they pick Cravadonna, Ndombele
They actually played like 5 starters, I think, and 5 but I was watching the game. They were coming.
It was a good game.
They weren't coming to just play around. They were coming to win. They tried.
No. You know why, Mo? You know why? Because it's all about creating a name in Europe. Yeah. Napoli and Spalletti, he's not here to just underdogs and be like a one season. Oh, do you remember Napoli? He wants to create a force. And like it or not, guys, I know you're not Liverpool fans, but like it or not, going to Anfield and smashing Liverpool under the lights in Champions League, that's the best way of making a name. And they came out to get us, bro. Oliveira is, I know you're going to say he's a reserve, but I think he's as good as the left back. You know, they've got Oliveira's brilliant. De Lorenzo, for me, one of the best fullbacks in Europe this season. And guys, Mo, I'll come to you first. This centre-back, Kim, wow.
How fast is this guy? I couldn't believe it yesterday.
Wow.
He was catching up to Salah with ease. He's so good. Like, it's unbelievable.
So
Where did you find this guy? He's like top-notch center-back, covering, header, strengths, tackling, interceptions, and like reading the game like, okay, who's this guy? He is by far the best defender in Serie A. And it's his first year. It's unbelievable.
Everyone that hasn't watched this play, keep an eye on this guy. This guy is an absolute. As someone tweeted today, he's the Alfinger Haaland of centre backs. Bro, he's a machine type.
You know, he's very good. I do like him, and I think the best part about him as well is that he came from Galatasaray with an under
Fenerbahce,
radar.
wasn't it? Fenerbahce, I think he came from.
Oh, I thought it was Galatasaray. Oh,
Fenerbahce,
one of the two though. But he came with a sort of an underrated profile, and you're stepping into the shoes of Kalidou Koulibaly, the captain.
Not a joke. Not a joke.
We look at it from here. I know, I get it. Some people might watch the European football. Of course, you're here watching now European show, but we can't say we watch Napoli every week. However, we all knew Koulibaly and the stature he was. For Napoli and them fans in that place and that city there, he's big. So to come in with that pressure and do what you're doing now is huge. And I think with these type of players like centre-backs, I don't know if it was on this show, we're talking about centre-backs, they don't peak until they're 28, 29.
Been saying that.
He's going into his peak years now, and he's only ever getting better, and he's only ever improving. And I think, you know, when you're playing in a team like Napoli that have always fallen short, when they had the Lavezzis, Cavani's, you remember that era in Grizz, you know, they fell short in the quarterfinals. The league, they get there to January, then they fall short. This is a Napoli team that really could win the Serie A this year. This is a Napoli team that could beat that They want to go past that quarterfinal stage of a Champions League, and they potentially could do that. Everything's firing for them. However, will the break be a killer for them? Because there's some teams that have got momentum. They are firing right now. Their players are fit. The World Cup, they come back. And it's not just that I'm not trying to say that they might go on a bit of a fall, but however, it's the teams around them that could pick up, like we're saying, the Liverpools or the Inter Milans could come back firing. The Chelsea's pot has more time to work. When you're in the Champions League come February, these teams that haven't been ticking, they could be ticking. And when you say to me, right, Napoli have got a Real Madrid or Napoli have got a Man City or whoever, am I going to be sitting there saying, do you know what? Yeah, Napoli are knocking them out. I probably won't. It would be more of a shock because I expect these other teams to pick up. Napoli right now are in great form while other teams are not. But however, I've got to commend them and say they're doing a great job. But I really like him at centre-back. And I really think Lobotka's a very good midfielder as well. I think he's going really under the radar. I don't think because his name's not Lopocadinho, he's getting the mentions. But he's solid in there, man. Like he's really good. He keeps him ticking over. And
we had to work overtime. We We went back to the 4-3-3. You know, Thiago had to you know, really be on his A game. And for me, from a Liverpool point of view, seeing them, you know, proper close up this time. Napoli are a special team, and Lobotka is special. He stood out a mile. But from a Liverpool point of view, I just want to shout out Ibrahima Khanage. People, I've been speaking about Osimhen. You guys know I've been speaking about Osimhen. He should be number one. He should be number one on a lot of people's lists if they want an out and out raw number 9. Like I know a lot of teams are looking for Man United are looking for a target, man. Like that kind of thing.
It'd actually be a problem for Man United.
Osimhen is a problem. He's our problem. But yesterday, Khanage had him rolling around every challenge, crying, pretending he's got injured, this and that. Ibrahima Khanage, guys. I know all the hype this season is about Saliba and Ben White, and I'm just saying, all these other youngsters. Ibrahima Khanage, people are sleeping on. He's still 22, I believe. This guy,
brilliant.
He's just come back. First start in the Premier League this season. He's come
so
back like
good.
A monster.
When you look at what you want in a defender, modern day centre back, he's actually better on the ball than people think. He's a very good ball carrier, like Joel Matip. They can travel through the lines.
Do you know what, Ty? All the French centre backs have been practicing their football.
Yeah.
Like that. Ball playing centre backs in France.
Honestly, they get the ball and they carry it into midfield, create space for others, release it. He can ball carry. He's strong in the air. He's fast. He reads the game well. I'm a big fan of Khanage, and I was saying this 2-3 years ago. When the hype around Upamecano was going around Europe, I said everyone's looking at the wrong player.
Looking at the wrong player,
man. It's Khanage. It's Khanage. And you've got a real stellar centre-back. I hope, and you know what, yeah, we'll put rivalries aside. Me and you hate each other for the football, Liverpool, Man United. But football terms, I hope that Khanage for you can stay fit for 3, 4, 5 years, because he has got that ability to be that sort of, you know, when strikers step up to players and you're like, I don't want to face him at centre-back. He has got that aura where you're waking up and you're like, oh, who have I got to face today? I've got Khanage, but can he stay fit for long periods?
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the same. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's the same as this Martial thing. I know you're a big fan.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant player, right? Brilliant player. On his day, Konate on his day, I wouldn't want to be my striker to be facing this guy. He is absolutely a monster, right? His covering, his body, his speed. But is he fit? Can you count on him? Can Liverpool count on him for the future?
So I'm going to back him. Since he's come to Liverpool, and I analyzed this very, very crucially and closely, because I had a bit of intel when we were signing Konate that we're going to get him 6 months before. So I've been doing intel on Konate. The injuries he had at Leipzig were at an age where he was growing, and we can see he's grown into a monster. He was bought very young by Leipzig, and he was at that age where humans are still growing, and he's turned into a massive beast of a guy. The injury that he picked up for Liverpool was an impact injury. You can't do nothing about that. Last game of the preseason, Sunday before the season starts, we're playing Toulouse. He gets a very nasty tackle, and that can happen. It's not a muscle strain that he keeps picking up or reoccurring ankle injury. So since he's been at Liverpool, by the grace of God, Ya Rab, I don't want no more injuries from Ibu Konate, because me and Ibu, you know what I mean? People that follow my channel know that, you know what I mean? I'm in a little WhatsApp group, and certain Ibu Konate is in that WhatsApp group. So I got bare love for him anyway, just as a brother as well. But even as a player, like, we're going to come to the France World Cup. Has he got a chance to get in that World Cup squad now, people, for France? Because
what's Varane's situation?
What do you think, Mo?
Varane would be back for the second game.
What do you think,
Lucas Hernandez is around. So if Lucas Hernandez is around, Kimpembe, Saliba.
But the funny thing is, he's better than Kimpembe. So
but the thing is with Deschamps,
it's not about who's better. It's about who Deschamps likes. It's about.
Don't get me wrong.
Rabiot's going to probably start in the World Cup. So
I'll tell you what, Bilal, something you wouldn't like. Ibrahima Konate fit is a way better player than Saliba, based on what I've seen. The abilities are better than Saliba.
But as a partnership, I think they're elite.
That would be fantastic, of course. It would be fantastic. But I think
the two would be crazy. But Saliba I think Saliba would be the one to have to move to the left centre back, because I think
that's the Virgil and Konate. Saliba is the ball playing, Ty saying Konate can play that, he can. But obviously he's not got the range Saliba or Virgil have.
Got the range, He's more of a
Konate, right centre back, Saliba left centre back.
Konate's strength for me is very good at ball carrying, as in he beats the press and then he runs into the sort of centre circle and then he releases it. But that frees up the midfield. That's what he's intelligent with. And Matip is very good at it for Liverpool. I know he's been a miss for Liverpool, but he carries the ball very well and it opens up space for others. But do you know what? I'm just going to touch on Liverpool and just say in general, I think that, yes, they've been poor in the league. Yes, they haven't kickstarted their season, but I've said this on multiple streams. As much as I love it and I enjoy it, are Liverpool going to get any worse than what they have been? The answer is no. People don't want to hear it, but I speak as a football fan first. Liverpool are going to get better, people. They are going to come back in February with Luis Diaz back, Jota back. Their dynamic, their athleticism, their pace, their energy. They are going to be better than what people expect from them, obviously, now. So
people don't realize how much they mean to us, Jota and Diaz.
Oh, I know. You know, Grizz, I follow the football. I know how important they are to you. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to this February period, when they've got a month back in their legs and they've rested from the World Cup, Liverpool are not going to be the team that teams want to face. You might laugh and have a giggle now if we live in football in the moment. Liverpool will be there February under the lights. You don't want to face them. Simple as they're good. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but they will be back to something.
You can't count them out. You can never count Liverpool out when it's Champions League.
Did we find out what the two options are for Napoli? The two options for Napoli and Liverpool. So the Liverpool options I know.
Yeah.
The Liverpool options are Porto, Benfica, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich. So we've got connections to all of them. We can have the Sadio Mane derby. We can have the replay of the Champions League final. Or we can have the Gruitch derby. You know what I mean? Or
Grizz,
we can have the Nunes.
I don't think, I'm going to look you dead in the eye in the camera. I don't think you're scared of any of them.
No,
I need Liverpool Bayern. I need Liverpool Bayern. That's what I'm waiting for.
We're in the mud right now.
Yeah, but I don't think you're scared.
Nottingham Forest and Leeds have just smashed us to bits. So we're in the mud right now. We're disgusting now, right now. But I'm not scared of anyone on the Champions League.
You ain't gonna be worried.
Two games.
I wouldn't want any big games in that. I want to see a quarterfinal with all the big teams, the heritage of the Champions League playing. I don't want to see a dead team playing in the quarterfinal. I know that UEFA don't like this because they want like the broadcasting and all the stuff, but I wouldn't want any big team to play. I don't want to see PSG City. I don't want to see Bayern Liverpool. I don't want to see none of that. I just want to see. I want to see a good round of 16, but I want to see a massive, amazing quarterfinal. Like last it used to be back in the day.
Because of Villarreal. You know what I mean? Because of Villarreal last year, even though the second leg was like for a bit it was interesting, for a little bit it was interesting, but you need them big games. I saw someone make a comment here, and this is interesting. I think we move on to the Tottenham group. Frankfurt versus Liverpool. This could happen now. Because,
no, it can't.
Could it not? You finished second.
Frankfurt's second, guys.
Frankfurt second. I already told you, Liverpool ones I know by heart. I know by heart. I don't know about you, everyone else. Napoli, I don't know what their options now because nobody's going to want to face Napoli.
Club Brugge, they can get Club Brugge. Frankfurt, they can get Leipzig. They can get Dortmund. They can get PSG.
Napoli can smash all of them.
Big chance for them, actually.
Maybe not PSG because I don't know how this game is going to go, but in my opinion...
No.
That's going to be
Napoli
goals.
versus PSG? I'm telling you, Napoli. I'm telling you, Napoli here right now. I'm telling you, Napoli, if they haven't got no injuries and, you know, what we've discussed, Napoli will Cravadonna again, man. Like, this guy... But
he said he wants to go to Real Madrid now. Do you see that?
This week's not the week to talk about him because, you know what I mean, no goals conceded at Anfield. You know what I mean? He had a nice 10 minutes, but after that, he said, yeah, I don't want this. But we're going to move on before I get too hyped up about Liverpool and people start getting angry in the chat. Guys, 350 of you in the chat. Not even remotely enough likes. Smash what you're doing. Eurostars. Best Euro show out there. You know the deal. Insight galore from these brothers, not from me. I'm just here for the hype. These are guys are here for the knowledge. Let's keep it moving. You can also now listen to us on all audio platforms as well. So you don't even need to see our mugs. If you're thinking, I don't want to press a like, look at that face. Look at that face. I don't want to press a like for that. Don't watch us on YouTube. Go and listen to us on audio platform, and you can't go wrong. Bilal, what you got for me?
Yeah, man, it's the Group D, and I keep forgetting. That's why
Spain,
I said
Spain. Look at his face. Look at his face.
Listen, no, you know what it is, yeah. When I said Liverpool, who did I say? Frankfurt, Liverpool. Now, right? I said that could be a thing. I literally just keep forgetting about that Højbjerg goal. And Marseille, you are criminals because Mbemba comes after the game and he says, "Well, we didn't even know we had to play for a point to qualify for the Europa
No
League."
way.
That's why.
Yeah,
that's why they all just went up front and they gave up.
They went 9 players in the Spurs area, leaving only 1 player in the back, thinking that we have to win the game. Nobody communicated to them that you are already in the Europa League, and Spurs were content. Spurs were content with the point. Spurs were like, okay, we accepted we're going to go second in this group. We don't care. We just want to go through. But then Harry Kane found himself with Højbjerg and Brian Yell running onto the goal with Mbembe trying to defend. Okay,
but that's on the new coach, Igor Tudor, right? The old Croatians.
He's got pressure on him now. Big pressure on him coming. But listen, Marseille may be in the league. You know what? It's the first chance Marseille had to really qualify since 2011, man. Like everyone was hyped. You saw the scenes before the game. I'm thinking Tottenham. This is prime time bottling. You know it's gonna happen. But you know what? Fair play to Tottenham. Second half, they turned up because first half they got peppered. 70% possession for Marseille. Marseille chance after chance after chance. They get the goal.
Said Kolasinac missing.
Honestly, the miss from Kolasinac. I nearly threw my drink.
Said Kolasinac
out of every player as well, a former Arsenal player, 4 yards out, hit it on target, and you know when you know it's just get it on target and it's a goal.
That's former Schalke player. Forget that, man. Former Schalke player.
But do you know what? Tottenham, they just done what Tottenham do. They hustle their way through. They hustle and bustle. Conte done his job, but I think Spurs fans know. Do you know what? It's so funny, right? This sums it up for me because I know this group. I'm not really too interested in this group as such. But Tottenham hustle and bustle their way through. The next day, you should be happy you're going through, right? I've seen Spurs fans on the timeline arguing amongst themselves about we didn't deserve this, but we're through. But we should be happy. But this, it shows the discontent that they have. That they know they're really not a Champions League club, and I think. We'll find out. And sorry, Spurs fans, as much as you done your thing, we will know the truth. That's that.
First and foremost, we must, even though again, like Tyrone says, we're rivals. The football rivalry never ends. You know what I mean, on the pitch, but off the pitch, it's so sad to see the injury Son's picked up. Of course, you know, hopefully, you know, best of recoveries to him.
Yeah, I see that Spurs said earlier a couple of hours ago, he's got a surgery, I think now.
That sounds dangerous, man. What
I think it's around here.
Yeah,
but I think it's a crucial
eye socket surgery.
I think it's a crucial injury. Of course, we know Son is, you know, a magnificent player, but you know what, Ty? I know you've just written off Spurs, yeah, and Conte hasn't done anything in the Champions League, and every week we speak about the Conte Champions League. I wouldn't like to face them, you know. I wouldn't like to face Spurs.
Because you're scarred by the 1-1 last year, man. You're scarred by that.
The way they play,
everyone wants to play Tottenham. No, every big team wants to play Tottenham.
I'm not saying nothing. We're playing them this weekend, so maybe I'm not saying nothing.
Nah, yeah, I know. That's easy food, man. If you're a big team, so what Man United did to them, so what Chelsea did to them. I know Chelsea drew. So what Arsenal did to them. Any big team that any high-level opposition they face, they crumble. It's because the group they had, let's be honest, Marseille, Frankfurt. Frankfurt finished 10th in the Bundesliga last year. Let's be real for a second, right? This is not a serious group. If they had any semblance of a proper Champions League group, these guys would have crashed out. So round of 16, we can look at their options and I can go through them. They'll probably get knocked out. They can face Milan, they can face Leipzig, they can face Dortmund, they can face PSG. Who else can they face? Let's have a look. They can face Inter.
They can face Inter.
Bruges.
That is what we want.
And that's it. So
I'm telling you now. I'm not Ryan's. I think Spurs can get through.
I'm actually
think get Bruges, then but I would love a Conte reunion against against
Inter. Yeah, bring me that.
That game. Is tasty,
especially with Lukaku back at Inter with no Conte. Oh.
That's a tasty setup. There's a few intriguing setups. That Monday draw is going to be sick. Very quick word on Sporting Lisbon. Shocking. In such a good position. And then suddenly gone to pot. Almiron. How do you say his name? The Sporting Lisbon.
Almiron.
Almiron.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, something like that.
No, I think we're getting confused with the Newcastle winger.
Ruben Amorim, no? Amorim.
Yes, Amorim. That's what I thought.
Yeah. That's his name,
okay.
I'm sure.
I just want to say something about this game. Eintracht Frankfurt did not deserve to win this game. The referee completely ruined the game with the penalty he called. Eintracht Frankfurt had no chance before that, no clear chances. And Sporting were cruising at home. The referee ruined the game. I was watching, and this referee ruined the game for them. But that's how small details can get you out of the competition completely. The penalty that he called is a non-existent penalty. It should have been fouled the other way. But sometimes the referees like to have the attention on them. They like to be in the spotlight. These are some of the stuff that UEFA, they have to fix. And I know that fans don't like to hear that, but it's reality that some teams, they just get the benefit. And that's a massive money thing. Because Eintracht Frankfurt go to the round of 16. It's a massive difference between going to the Europa League and going to the round of 16. I was watching and I was shocked that this penalty was called and brought Eintracht Frankfurt back to the game. It was ridiculous.
Frankfurt fans are enjoying after what they did last year in the Europa League, the way they took over the Camp Nou, they won the tournament, and now what they're going to the round of 16. This is like dreamland stuff. And I want to just shout out one guy, Daichi Kamada. That is the guy. Ever since I saw him crash Arsenal one time in the Europa League, I've been following him, and he's a serious player. And I'm excited for the World Cup for Japan as well. Hopefully, he leads them to, I don't know, something decent in the World Cup as well. So yeah, just shout him out. Lindstrom as well, another player, and Ndicka, someone who's going to be available in the free transfer for Frankfurt, being talked about for years. So yeah, they got interesting players, but as we said, yeah, Mo,
even that handball was crazy, man. That Sebastian Quarter, shout out Quarter, the ex-Liverpool centre back. That was a blatant shove in the back, no?
Exactly, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, clear. But they didn't even appeal for it properly, Mo. They didn't even go mad. Like, have a look at the VAR again. But you're right, there were some wild decisions. There was a wild decision in your game as well. I saw you complaining, bro, as well.
Yeah, Mane literally protected his face as like, and shout out to one of the Christina uncle, that she is the referee advisor for CBS. She said, protecting your face ended after you pass 8 years old. When you play football, after 8 years old, is nothing called I'm protecting my face with my hand. But the referee came out and said it's unbelievable. And his hand was out. And anyway, that was an irrelevant game. But imagine this decision in a game that matters.
Yeah,
this group is dedicated to Ty, and we know for what reason. Ty, the floor is yours,
man. You know what? When you called for a board meeting of a Eurostar show, I was happy because first show I said, you know what, people could say I'm wrong or people might laugh, but this Atletico Madrid team, it's up. This time is up, and I just had a feeling that this is the type of group you look at. I'll big up Alex. You look at this group, and the normal Atletico, it might not be pretty, it might not be sweet, but they'll win the 1-0s, they'll win the 2-0s away at Bruges and stuff like that. But if you look at Atletico over the last, I'll say, 6 to 9 months, you could see something happening. You can kind of see where the club is heading. I didn't think they invested well in the summer. You've got a player like João Felix, who you'd probably say top 6 clubs in the world would take him, but no, Atletico have got him, so use him. They don't use him. They bring him on as a sub in La Liga in the 88th minute the other day and expect him to change games. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I just think that football is kind of, when managers like Jose Mourinho and, them great coaches have won tournaments, but people don't like the football. But then all of a sudden the peps and the crops and the high energy football takes over. I feel like with Atletico, they played that sort of stifling football and it got them to a certain point. But now football teams are moving on. We're getting these teams like Benfica playing football now. You're getting these other teams shining. And this Atletico team, I look at it, right? And one thing that stands out to me is, where is the pace? No one can run.
Where is the pace?
No one can run. Where are you beating top teams? Where are you breaking them down? Felix can't do it all by himself. Griezmann, we know, is not the same player as 3-4 years ago. Correa is a workhorse, but he doesn't stand out in any attribute. And then you've got Molina, Niguez, who's playing everywhere just to make fit. I'm sorry, this Atletico team had this coming, and if they didn't believe it, now we're truly seeing it. And I just think now, despite Diego Simeone being a great coach, and I like what he's done, I just think it's time for them to move on. They need to move on from the players and maybe take 2 or 3 years recycling themselves. And yes, if they don't make the Champions League, cool. But in 4 or 5 years' time, if you've got you've got a great stadium, if you get a more ambitious coach and get better footballers, you'll be back there one day. But for now, they're done. However, just briefly, as much as I want to say that's on Atletico, I do want to say that with Porto, I do like the way they're doing things at the moment. I think this formation's a bit wrong. 2 things. Porto play with normally like a 4-4-2. They play with the traditional Taremi and sort of Elvin Nilsson up front. You don't see that in today's football, especially Europe. So credit to them for playing how they are in the league so far and in the Champions League with a 2 up top, because not many teams do that. And they're both physical players, Elvin Nilsson and Taremi. But Diogo Costa, this keeper, is going to the top. We've got players, like we said, Enzo Fernandez. We've got Antonio Silva. Diogo Costa is the next big keeper on the way. 4 penalty saves in the group stages. Yes, he's only 6'2", but he can play with the ball at his feet. 50, 60 million. Whoever gets him next has got a keeper for the next 6-7 years. He is the one that I potentially want to replace David De Gea at Manchester United. And that's no disrespect to David De Gea, Grizz, but I feel like as much as Simeone can move on, David De Gea has done his time at Manchester United. And I love him as a keeper and a shot stopper. But if Man United want to go to that next level, this keeper here, Diogo Costa, is one to watch out for.
It's good we've got these two teams up because obviously Porto won their group, and that's quite a story again, like we spoke about. Again, not many standout names. Bilal, Mo, do you guys think? Like
Taremi is one guy who's linked with Arsenal in January, and I was thinking, Taremi, really, is that the guy we need? But I've been watching him more and more. He's a proper number 9.
Handful, man.
Physical. From Iran, right? So
yeah,
I think in the World Cup,
imagine Bilal if he has a good World Cup. Imagine the price tag that they're gonna slap on him in January.
Well, Porto love slapping a price tag on players anyway. So imagine if he has a World Cup. I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie to you. Otavio, Grujic. Otavio's been linked with Liverpool. Never ever wanted anything to do with him. For me, very mediocre. Grujic obviously didn't make it at Liverpool. Nothing stands out to me there. But again, another team that's being coached really well. A lot of hype about their coach now as well. And then this Atletico Madrid. Like, I don't know what to say about this squad of players and his method of coaching. It's just so outdated, man. It's unreal. No pace. Witsel lost his pace 3 years ago, man. Alex Witsel lost his pace 3 years ago.
Open question to all you guys. Do Atletico, as much as I'm saying Simeone's done, will they make the change? Will that club see that they need to make the change? That's my question for you lot.
Has he got loyalty? Has he got,
he's got too much power?
Loyalty points?
Yeah, no, he's got too much power. The board have already said they don't want to sack him. But there are reports, some rumors, after the World Cup, maybe Luis Enrique could go to Atleti. Maybe that could happen. But if that happens, that could be good for the likes of João Felix, because even the game against Cadiz, I don't know if you guys saw on the weekend, like it was a joke of a game for Atleti. Like they went 2-0 down. João Felix comes on and I think he basically scores 2 goals. The second goal was an absolute cracker. But the team collapses and they concede in the 98th minute. And I think they just took in that bad form and brought it to this game, against Porto. I think when the manager loses his way, it's really hard to get it back, even if it's someone as charismatic, as energetic, as a legend of Atletico Madrid like Simeone. Even him, it's going to be difficult for him to get this back. So for me, Atleti from here, they need to just figure out maybe wait until after the World Cup. If they can get a Luis Enrique, do that, because that's a cultural reset as well at the club in terms of the style of play, in terms of how they even buy players as well. So maybe wait till after the World Cup. But yeah, Simeone's got a lot of power.
I think if he does leave, and how many groups we've got left before we get onto? I think we've only got the last group, or is it? Or they're done? But Mo, very quickly, if he does leave Atletico, first, wow, what a legacy he's going to leave, because messing with Real Madrid and Barcelona, sometimes it's not. You have to praise, like, anyone who can break the monopoly of Real Madrid and Barcelona is special, and he has been special. He's absolutely been special. But like Ty says, in the last couple of years, why hasn't he adapted and changed? Because he's had the finances. They, of course, invested in a magnificent new stadium, state-of-the-art stadium, magnificent stadium. And they've invested in the team. But spending 100 million euros on Felix and not playing him, and then the likes of Morata, and I can't even remember all the other strikers they've gone through. They just... Diogo
Jackson
Costa,
Martinez, remember that?
Jackson Martinez, yes, Suarez.
They had Luis Suarez at some point, like last year and the year before.
Like, what? Surely it's a time to go their separate ways, or do you think they're going to stick with him?
No, I think it's time for a change. That's my opinion. However, is the board brave enough to sack the coach that brought Atletico Madrid to life again? I'm old enough to know that within the 90s and the 2000s, Atletico Madrid were not in the picture at all. And then Diego Simeone is the one who brought this team to the picture. Maybe Bilal you didn't see that before. Atletico Madrid were not even in the picture at all. And this guy made them a superpower in Europe, made them to the point that no one in Europe wants to face them, ever. In the last 10 years, nobody wants to face Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. And so it's as simple as...
But I think that's finally changed, though. I think it's finally changed. I think a lot, if they got through, obviously they haven't got through, I think quite a few teams would have fancied them. And I think, like Ty said, because of the lack of pace in the team. These days, pace is everything. Everything. All the top teams have stunning pace in their team, except this team. But let's keep it moving, guys.
One team with pace Real Madrid, they got pace.
Probably the most foregone conclusion. Not much to say with this, guys. Leipzig expected to finish second. Real Madrid expected to finish first. Still favourites for you, Ty?
I'll be honest, like I said, I can't put my neck on the line and pick a team. I just think in my years of watching Champions League, it's a very open Champions League. But does a good Real Madrid beat a lot of the good other teams? Yes. Do they beat the best Man City? Probably not. But could they beat the best, all the other teams at their best? Yes. So they're up there. They're in the top 4. I expect them to reach the semi-finals. The only problem I have for Real Madrid is that the striker, the issue, the Karim Benzema, he'll probably be back after the World Cup, and that's fine. I get it. However, they've had to, utilize Rodrigo in a centre-forward role. Now, if we're talking about the quarterfinals or semis and Benzema is out, is Rodrigo going to be the difference between winning and, losing a quarterfinal, semi-final? He might have to be that difference, but can he be the difference? I don't know if he can. So Real Madrid do have a couple of problems in there that they'll need to resolve, but still, Real Madrid are Real Madrid. They know how to win. They done it against Man City last year when they shouldn't have gone through. So they're always going to be a dangerous team, but they've done their job. But yeah, let's just see what their fitness situation's like with Benzema come the knockouts, because he's vital to them if they're going to succeed and defend their title. I'll be honest with you, they really need him.
Mo, Bilal, Ty's not 100% convinced on them this season. What are you used to saying?
I like Real Madrid, to be honest. For me, Real Madrid, with Benzema, they are probably favorites or second favorite after City. And with Heritage, they might be the favorites to win it this year, especially with the likes of Valverde, like, what a player, right?
Another
and
Camavinga
coming through to Tchouameni, like these guys. So for me, like, okay, but the problem is what Ty's saying. If Benzema's out, I see any team of the top 4 or 5 teams can beat them. Any team, Bayern, PSG, because Benzema brings everything to the team and he takes everything away with him. That's how I see it, to be honest. Nobody can replace him in Real Madrid. So with Benzema, they might be favorites to win it. Without him, they might even go out in the round of 16. As Ty said, after the World Cup, who knows what his fitness level would be. So for me, I'm like, it's a very
open book.
Very simple.
And very quickly, shout out to Andy for reminding us Leipzig. Marco Rose, what a new turnaround at Leipzig. Done a brilliant job so far as well. Much better than your favorite Dortmund, Bilal.
Well, they kicked him out like randomly. Like all the players were sad at Dortmund that Marco Rose got just ejected out of nowhere. They brought Terzic back into Dortmund. It didn't really make too much sense. And even now, Dortmund 1-1 today against Copenhagen. If we go in the Man City group, we have a look. But Leipzig, they're playing good. They have good players. And I always wonder, Dani Olmo, why is this guy never linked with I know he's been linked with Barca a few times, but the guy is so good. Like he needs to move at this point. He's been at Leipzig for too long. But yeah, going on to the Man City group, it was standard.
Again, pretty much as straightforward as we probably all predicted, right? Yeah. Man City to win it, Dortmund to come second. Seville drop down into their competition, because now this is where Seville gets serious, right?
Not this year. They're finished. Not this year. No, not this year. They're finished. I think they're 17th in the league. They lost on the weekend again. Sevilla this year are in disarray, but Dortmund again. I think they got away with one. It's kind of like Tottenham in the sense of.
Well, I was just going to say, I think Dortmund. I think Dortmund are one of those teams that you'd want to draw. Lads. Any team that's won their league.
Yeah, 100%.
You're looking at Dortmund, and I think you can hurt Dortmund in quite a bit. I know they got Sule. They got Sule at the back and Hummels.
Hummels has been really good recently.
Schlotterbeck. He's a magnificent centre back of the last decade. But
Hummels is not Hummels. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Even at his peak, he wasn't that quick, but he was always great.
No. For me, at his peak, Hummels was your ultimate German centre back, man. For me, at his peak, I loved Hummels, man. And I mean, I loved Hummels more than.
I think this is a team. Let's be honest, I think it's the year now where their name is bigger than what the team is. That's where it is. It's Dortmund. You know what I mean? So you think, it's a nice name. And
who's their strikers right now? So who do they replace? They had
Karim Adeyemi.
Mokoko.
Even Karim Adeyemi, guys, he's not really cut it since he's been there, since that Salzburg move. Young kid, I get it. He's still got his time, but it's not really worked out.
He was the Sancho replacement, wasn't he? So
he's not a striker, really. He's not a striker.
No, he's not a striker. No.
They had who's the other guy they had, man?
Reina, the American guy, is very, very.
They've got Anthony Modeste as well up front.
Anthony Modeste, that's
they've got Anthony Modeste. So I just feel like Dortmund are a team.
Haller's back though in training and that. So I don't know what's going to happen with Haller.
Shout out Haller.
Haller. Hopefully Haller comes back and obviously can revive his career in that.
I think out of all the groups as well, this was the one like Grizz said. I think I looked at this. I said City, Dortmund, they go through, and let's see what City can do now. This is the time. Obviously, they're through now. Let's see what they do in the knockouts. I think they're the ones that everyone's.
What's their options? Let's talk about City's options, guys. Hit me up with City's options. City's options, guys, in the chat.
Cool. So they can play PSG. They can play PSG. They can play Leipzig, Milan, Frankfurt, Inter, Bruges, and that's it. Yeah. So it's not bad.
You know they're getting Frankfurt or Bruges. You know, we already know they're getting Frankfurt or Bruges.
Easy run, Conspiracies.
Yeah. They're already getting. Listen, I'm willing to put all my.
I'm pretty sure they played Bruges recently as well. I don't know if it was in the group stages. I remember watching the Catalara against them. Yeah.
I'm willing to put all my FIFA cards on the line, man. I'm telling you now. Club Bruges or Frankfurt is coming Man City's way. People, this has been a wonderful show. Oh, a couple of super chats I need to, sorry, get through. James says, news today that Klopp got backing to sign Bellingham. I'm worried because we need more than one midfielder. Ox, Naby Milner and Bobby likely to leave from January to summer. How many mid players do we sign? We signed one in January. We signed two in the summer, my brother. We signed one in January. We signed two in the summer. Estimated price is Sangare 26 up front, 35 million. Kudio Kone, Borussia Mönchengladbach up 30. Wow, this guy's got it all worked out. Enzo 50 million up front, 107 up front, better than 137. Basically, what he's saying is he'd like to, instead of Jude Bellingham and paying 130 million euro, that could be split up into 2-3. But Jude Bellingham for me is a generational talent, especially for what we need. So therefore, our focus will 100% be on Jude Bellingham, whether we like it or whether we don't. And we have aspirations of all these other players who are great, who are absolutely great. I'm not taking away from them, but for what Liverpool need in terms of young English Liverpool fan, everything about him, we love. We love his leadership quality. He's literally a future Liverpool captain. I'm telling you guys now. We need to get Champions League, though.
Are you worried about Man City? Because they keep saying Man City are not going to let Bellingham go to...
It's only going to be Man City. It's only going to be Man City or Liverpool. It's only going to be Man City, Liverpool. I know that from a very, very reliable source. It's only Man City, Liverpool.
No Chelsea, no Todd Bowley, 200 million.
No, Man City or Liverpool. Man City or Liverpool. And he hasn't made up his mind. Family, they want to come back home. He's ready to come back to the Premier League and take it by storm. And he's done his hard work. That's a brave move. That's a clued-on kid right there. Clued-on kid. You know what I mean? He could have gone to any club, but he went to Dortmund because he knew he's going to play. Dortmund are one of the best at letting you play and progress and further enhance your career. And by God, has he enhanced his career right now. Jude Bellingham is on fire right now. But we'll talk about that nearer the time. Guys, who has a higher ceiling, Potter or Arteta? Who wants to take that?
But now you're not a fan.
Listen, it's despite me being on Arteta's back, obviously it's Arteta, man. Calm down. Like, obviously it's Arteta. Even today, I didn't Barcelona rumors coming about. You know, I don't think it's a debate even. I don't think this is a debate. So it's up to you guys. You can choose.
Mo, you can take this one then. Is Szoboszlai ready for the Premier League?
I want to see Graham Potter with his squad, and I think Graham Potter has better ideas than Arteta. He has a better tactical analyst than Arteta. I think his brand of football is better than Arteta. We have seen this with Arteta only this year, but Graham Potter has really built a team that is ready for the derby. And you have seen how they played against City, how they played last game against Chelsea. If Graham Potter does the same job with a better squad, it looks like he can do it, I think he has a very, very high ceiling.
But let me defend Arteta one thing, because I remember
I
saw someone's lineup, right, of Arsenal compared to Potter. Brighton today just signed another player from Argentina, and I know for a fact he's going to be a baller because it's Brighton.
He is a baller. You know why? Because we liked him as well. We wanted him as well.
Arsenal, on the other hand, had zero technical players towards the end. Like even when Arteta came in, it was a joke. So I think it was a bit harsh, to be honest. Like. But anyway, yeah, continue.
Paul says, Jude is not a Liverpool fan. Stop the nonsense. I beg your pardon. Jude's father is a huge, massive Liverpool fan. Jude's father calls the shots. That's all I'm going to say for you guys. Jude's father is massive influence on his son's career. Shabazz says, have you not seen Enzo Lafi, best midfield in league right now? No, I haven't seen much of this brother.
No, I haven't.
Okay, one to keep an eye on. One to keep an eye on then. No, I have heard of him, but I haven't watched him at all. Yeah, at all. But guys, we must wrap it up. Champions League is done and dusted with. We're going to be back to our European League show next week, where we're going to be discussing the big leagues, the big games. So many games to look forward to. I'd like to thank Mo and Tyrone as usual. Make sure you go and check out Never a Foul. I will be honored to go on their channel this Friday.
Yeah, Friday, 5 o'clock, Tottenham Liverpool preview. Grizz will be there. I'll be hosting it as a neutral, just planting my little seeds. But you know 100%. What it is. Never a Foul down below. Me and Mo are there. Big up Bilal every time. Grizz, thank you ever so much for letting us come on as always. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video, people. Like, you take, when you go, like, this is my saying, Grizz, sorry. When you walk in your house, people, you take your shoes off. When you come into the stream, you like the video. Same rules. There you go.
100%. He's got a way with getting these likes, people. Come on, man. Make sure you do like that stream. I'm not very good at asking for likes, but it is what it is, man. These guys.
It's half 11 at night, man. Come on,
100%.
Oh, by the way, guys, if you guys like Football Manager, I started a new Football Manager stuff on my personal channel, so go check that out. Little plug. If you like a little bit of chaos, it's a journey. Right now, I don't do spoilers. Right now, I'm doing some Bandulu save. Like, I'm in some funny Swedish ends. I don't know where I am. I'm doing Graham Potter basically. But yeah, come have a look.
the rise and journey of Bilal. Listen, Bilal, you're back tomorrow with Young Bucks, aren't you?
Yeah, Young Bucks tomorrow, man. 7 o'clock. Yeah.
So 7 o'clock, Young Bucks, and then I've got a massive preview with a few big hitters from the Spurs fan media side. You know what I mean? Yeah, tomorrow's preview of Liverpool Spurs is going to be lit at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. I haven't decided what time, but make sure you guys check that out. Young Bucks tomorrow, 7 p.m. The rest you already know. We're going to be showing you guys. We're back on the audio podcast, but check out the community channel, the community tab, and I'll be tweeting it from my socials or letting you guys where you can hear that. We out of here. Take care.